The hardest part of decluttering isn't deciding what to keep or what to toss. It's realizing that most of the clutter in your home was never really your fault to begin with. Because the truth is, stores, ads, even influencers, they have been lying to us. And those lies are the reason that your closets, your cupboards, and your basement keep filling back up. Want some proof? Back to school shopping with my daughter last week reminded me just how sneaky clutter is. She already has more hoodies than there are days of the week. We did not need another one, but when the sales clerk leaned in and whispered, "When they're gone, they're gone," she and her friend grabbed matching ones like it was fate. It wasn't fate. It wasn't even a special hoodie. The store just needed shelf space for next week's shipment. And that's exactly how our closets and our homes get out of control. It's not just teenagers. We all fall for it. I know I do. That day got me thinking about all the little lies we've been sold, sometimes for decades, that make decluttering so hard. Because the real problem isn't just deciding what to keep and what to toss. It's stopping the cycle of what keeps coming in. So today, let's expose some of those sneaky cultural and consumer myths and finally figure out how to stop buying clutter before it even gets through the door. The first lie is the scarcity lie. You know, buy it now or regret it forever. This one is sold as marketing itself. Only 3 left in stock, final sale, last chance. It creates a fake sense of urgency that has absolutely nothing to do with what we actually need. I mean, cue my daughter's hoodie story, right? And if I'm honest, I have fallen for it too. Maybe too many times. I grew up in a thrifting household. We loved going out and finding treasures. I used to go every summer with my Nana. When you find a treasure, you convince yourself that if you don't grab it now, you'll never see it again. But here's the truth. Another treasure always shows up. Scarcity isn't fate. It's just a shelf-clearing tactic. Have you ever bought something that you didn't need just because you thought that it would disappear, that there would be none left if you changed your mind? Maybe it was that kitchen gadget on clearance or a sweater in a color that you never actually wear. Months later, it is still hanging there with the tags on, mocking you. That's scarcity marketing at work. It sells clutter, not value. The second lie is that organization fixes clutter. If you just get the right bins, if you just get the right shelving, the right storage system, my house will finally be in order. Does it sound familiar? That lie has exploded with Instagram perfect pantries and rainbow colored closets. But here's the actual truth and reality. Organization is just clutter with a prettier label. You don't need more bins. You need fewer things to put in the bins. I learned this firsthand. At one point, if you followed me for a while, you know that I had open shelving in my kitchen because it was trendy and I wanted it. But you know what it turned into? A dust collecting, clutter collecting nightmare. Pretty baskets don't make clutter disappear, and yet we spend hundreds, sometimes thousands, on organizing gear that doesn't solve the root problem. Storage companies know this. That's why self-storage is one of the fastest growing industries around. People are literally paying rent for their clutter. And here's the kicker. The more bins you buy, the more tempted you are to keep things you don't even use. Because once it's neatly labeled and stacked, it feels justified and it looks good. But clutter in a container is still clutter. The third lie is that upgrades equal happiness. This is the fast fashion lie, the seasonal decor lie, the your perfectly good sofa is suddenly out of style lie. We're told that if we just upgrade, we'll feel refreshed, renewed, maybe even a little more with it. But upgrading isn't the same as improving. It just swaps one pile of stuff for another. Take my ice cream maker as a prime example. I pictured myself as the kind of mom who makes homemade, artisanal, all-natural ice cream with her kids. Guess how many times it got used? In the 6 years I owned it, maybe 6 times. It sat there collecting dust, silently reminding me of the parent I thought I'd be but never was. That wasn't happiness. That was guilt disguised as an appliance. And it doesn't stop with appliances. Think about seasonal decor, fall, Christmas, Valentine's, Easter. Every holiday now has an aisle of must-have trinkets. Does swapping out your throw pillows 4 times a year really change your life? Or does it just give you one more box to haul back to the basement when the season ends? The fourth lie is guilt equals responsibility. This is the lie that sneaks in when you're decluttering. You're thinking, if I donate this, someone is going to love it. And sometimes that's true. If it's in good shape, if it's useful, if it's clean or current, absolutely donate it. But if it's broken, if it's stained or just plain gross, that's not a donation. That's shifting your garbage onto someone else. Donation centers are not magical sorting elves. If they can't sell it, they're going to have to throw it out, and they're the ones who are paying that disposal fee. The other side of this lie is keeping things at home out of guilt, thinking that if you hold on to it, at least it won't end up in landfill. But that doesn't save the planet either. It just leaves you living with clutter you don't want or use. I once kept a box of old linens in the basement for years. I was convinced I'd find a home for them. And when I finally opened it, half were ripped, the others smelled musty, there were stains. Nobody was going to use them. They should have been tossed years earlier. Real responsibility isn't about hoarding, and it isn't about offloading trash. It's about donating the good stuff, tossing the junk, and most importantly, not bringing so much in to begin with. So if those are the lies, what's the truth? The truth is, most of the time, we don't need it. The truth is, real organization comes from editing, not from bins. The truth is, joy doesn't come from the upgrade. It comes from using and appreciating what you already own. And the biggest truth of all, progress is always better than perfection. Decluttering isn't about a picture-perfect home. It's about creating breathing room in your life. And that's something a sale sign or a storage bin will never give you. When I was thrifting with my Nana when I was a kid, we weren't chasing trends. We weren't falling for scarcity. She was looking for value. Things that were useful or meaningful or built to last. I mean, I was just hoping to go home with a fun toy. But I watched how she chose very carefully, very intentionally. And that's the part we've lost. We've traded the treasure hunting for clutter collecting. And the difference comes down to one thing, that's intention. So the next time you feel that tug, the sale, the storage solution, the guilt trip, pause for a minute and ask yourself, am I buying this or am I buying tomorrow's clutter? And if this hits home, you're going to want to watch this next. It's called Why Your Home Still Feels Overwhelming Even After a Big Declutter. Because sometimes the stuff is gone, but the feelings, they're still sitting there. I'll see you over there.